everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you are having an amazing Sunday. If you haven't been watching the Sunday Musing for the last couple of weeks, you probably don't know that the garden and the chicken update get their own video now. So follow the link in the description below. The chicken and the garden update will already be live at the time that this musing goes out, unless you're on Patreon, in which case you'll have had a separate notification for both. So today's Sunday Musing isn't the one that I had originally planned to do, but there's a very good reason for switching. And it's simply this: should we hold companies more accountable when it comes to ethics and behaviour? Now, in the last couple of weeks, we have seen a couple of news stories cross our desk that brings into question particularly unsavoury practices or things that we would rather not see as people who live in a world where we just want to be nice to one another. The first one is, of course, the allegations made that one of Hyundai's subsidiaries in the US was employing child labour. That is not only against the law in the US, but it's particularly unsavoury. And of course, in the EV world, we all have to deal with the concept that battery packs contain materials that may have been mined in very unethical circumstances. Now, a lot of car companies are now waking up to this. They're actually using blockchains. Kate, in fact, did a video about this on the main channel about a year ago, but they're using blockchains and they're using accountability measures. They're taking accountability measures to make sure that wherever possible, they are as ethical as possible. It's all recorded on the blockchain to make sure that the batteries that you have in your EV are sourced in a most environmentally friendly way, but also in the most ethical way possible. But this week, which is the second thing that prompted me to do this Sunday Musing, this week Tesla held its shareholder meeting. Tesla calls it the Giga update, but we're going to call it the shareholder meeting because that's technically what it was. And at the shareholder meeting, there were calls from shareholders, proposals that were voted on to encourage Tesla to get better at being more transparent when it comes to ethics, when it comes to reporting workplace harassment, be it racial, sexual, or gender-based discrimination, and also for it to be more transparent about its supply chain and the use of child labour. Now, the people that were asking Tesla to consider those and asking for a vote on those matters were reportedly almost heckled on stage. So the first person to speak was talking about Tesla's workplace harassment, and they went over their allotted time, and they were told they went over their allotted time, and the room cheered because they were told they were over their allotted time. There were reports that online afterwards, a lot of people being very disparaging about that person. I've heard allegations secondhand, I wasn't there obviously, of shouting and booing and laughing while that person was trying to make their case as to why Tesla should improve its reporting and transparency on those issues. The second one was a matter of cobalt mining even, and again the same kind of reaction was elicited from inside the room. Now, since then, I've heard some Tesla people say, oh, that was not Tesla people, sorry. I've heard some fans of Tesla, and I'm using the bunny ears because I acknowledge that not every person who supports Tesla feels the same. It's a wide, diverse group of people. We're basically saying we don't want any of that woke nonsense at Tesla. Elon Musk seemed to at least enjoy the rowdy crowd and some of the opinions of that rowdy crowd. And he's definitely pushed for kind of the anti-woke mind virus agenda of late. Again, using the bunny ears. And it's kind of got me thinking, should we expect car companies, or any company for that matter, to be more transparent and more equitable in what they do? Should there be a bare minimum? Should we be demanding that all car companies, especially electric vehicle ones, who are supposed to be making the world a cleaner, greener, safer and smarter place. Should we have ethics? Should we require ethics, either legally or just as a common courtesy, i.e. if enough companies do it, then everybody starts to do it? Should that be something that we see? Should it be something that is kind of a foregone conclusion that if you are going to invest in a company, you're going to expect to see this amount of information on these particular things? And how would you expect that to be reported? Now, already in certain markets, there are expectations that some of those things I've covered are reported on, but it's generally in a very kind of 50,000 foot view. Tesla does produce its sustainability report. Tesla has produced reports in the past. So to make it very clear, for this particular kind of shareholder meeting, it wasn't that someone was saying Tesla didn't do those things. It's that Tesla needed to do more of those things, if that makes sense. Charlie the rooster is right behind me and he decided to make his presence felt. He did that this week when I was filming in the garage. If you watched the video that we did on the charging granny cables, the Cooper's there and I was filming in there, which is why he was quite loud. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts on that one in the comments below. And I would also love to know if you are avoiding certain companies because of their past discretions in terms of ethics and equity, or whether this is something that you would consider doing in the future. I know a lot of people don't support certain legacy automakers because of their past stance on EVs or their past actions. Volkswagen comes to mind, General Motors comes to mind, and there are many, many more. So leave your thoughts in the comments below, and hopefully between us we can bash out a more equitable and a more transparent world, because I try and run this company in as a transparent a way as possible, and I just assume that everybody else does, but I know that is not always the case. That is it for today, even though Charlie is hell-bent on making his presence known. If you like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends. And don't forget to leave your thoughts below or in our free to join Discord chat room. There are links in the video description. And if you really like today's video, why not leave us a super thanks? It is easy to do, and everything you do send our way goes towards helping us make great content. If you haven't already, make sure you've subscribed to this channel and our main channel, Transport Evolved, and give our bell a gentle ding to make sure you're told when our next video goes live. I know this week some of you have not been getting the notifications, so please do double check that you have that bell checked. Thanks on behalf of the entire crew go out to everyone who makes this channel possible. That includes everyone who supports us on Patreon and YouTube, as well as everyone who watches this video and shares it. If you are a supporter at the charged up level, you'll see your name probably scrolling by on my right hand side, and if you're not seeing your name, the chances are you've just joined. And don't worry, there will be a new video going out later this week, which that will be rendered into. Thanks to our self-driving tier supporters. They are Chris Maxwell, Pedro European Hero, Patrick Boyarski, Bennett Elder, Brian Newton, Dave Kitchen, Michael Goad, Ricky Leon, Andrew Martin, Guido Terhota, Brophy Wolf, Tazza in the Gong, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Kyle Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Regine Fellows, Dan Blair, Jim Burness, Chris Centaur, Chris and Michael Johnson, Peter Dillinger, and Denny Hyde, and of course, super out of this world thanks to our Starman level supporters. They are Anonymous Freak, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, Rory Litwin, Joe Bresney, Reed R, JP Fagerback, Russ, Will Graylin, Matthew Drobnak, Kevin Burrowbridge, John Lyons, Andrew Glenn, Paul Conway, Laura Reynolds, Ellery Hensley, and of course, last but not least, Ian. If you would like to support the channel and become one of those amazing names on that amazing list, it's really easy. Just head to patreon.com/Transport Evolved, or you can go to the main Transport Evolved channel and click join there. You can of course also send us Ko-fi. You can visit our swag store and buy one of our cool t-shirts, or in fact, if you'd like to, you can still send us Bitcoin, although we don't really do Bitcoin anymore. We have an account, we just turn it on and then turn it back off to save energy. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to be on a road trip next weekend, so I haven't decided quite how we're going to do the Sunday musing, but until then, as always, keep evolving.